And welcome once again to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, the capital of Pennsylvania. As tonight, the USL Pro matchup features the Charleston Battery with a record of 5-4-3 and the Harrisburg City Islanders with a record of 2-3-2. Hi, everybody. I'm Chad Edwards along with Larry Julius, and tonight, this is going to be an interesting contest. They played last weekend. It was a red card fest. They ended up playing 9 against 8 when the game was over. Harrisburg was up 1-0. Charleston gets a penalty shot, which leads to the 2 red cards. They get thrown out. That ties the game up, and then late in the game, Nicky Patterson scores to make it a 2-1 victory for Charleston. Of course, Nicky Patterson used to play here with Harrisburg.
Yep.
Tonight's going to be an interesting contest, though. We had a chance to talk with both coaches before the game, and we got some keys. So we got some pretty interesting stuff going on, especially since Charleston played last night.
Well, again, it's very important for Charleston to come in and really put themselves in a position to attack early, lead, and not be led by Harrisburg. Also put themselves in the position to defend well. If they don't defend well out of the gate tonight, they're going to be in trouble. And lastly, for Charleston, big key is their fitness level. Can they sustain after playing 24 hours ago? Harrisburg, on the other hand, has to come out of the gate early, Chad. They have to attack early. They need a good start. They obviously need to put themselves in a position to keep the ball. That's been one of their nemesis the last few games. And last but not least, finish the opportunities that they get. That's been Harrisburg's problem also off and on this year. And again, they had a great game here on the island last week. Let's see if they can recover and play well this week.
We have some players that we can highlight as well that I think will be the key players in tonight's game. Let's start with Charleston. Charleston comes up with some pretty strong players here to start off the season. Nicky Patterson, of course, who used to play with Harrisburg. He's the former City Islander. He leads Charleston with 9 points. He's got 3 goals on the season, and he's leads the league in assists as well. The Scottish footballer also has the second most shots on the team with 16. Taking a look at C.D. Baugh, the 18-year-old Gambian footballer, has been impressive so far, signing with the Battery after training with the MLS Seattle Sounders. He has the second most points on the team with 4, comprising of 1 goal and 2 assists. And taking a look at the Harrisburg players to watch as well, one jumping in the lineup that we saw a lot of last year, that's Jeff Blows. Jeff Blows, of course, is a Middletown native, started his first game of the season last Tuesday and played 90 minutes. Blows is a versatile player, has played outside back and forward already this season. He is the Islanders' all-time leading scorer in USL Cup play as well, and they play coming up this Tuesday. That's a great note to mention as well. Brian Mbiji is the other player we want to highlight as well. He's a Kenyan footballer, and he's a Wilson alum, and he leads the City Islanders in assists this season with 2, and last game he assisted on Torre's goal. With his speedy and fancy footwork, look for Mbiji to create goal-scoring opportunities, which is something that Harrisburg needs tonight. They've got to finish, and they've got to put the pressure on early here. It's going to be an interesting one.
Absolutely. There's a fantastic crowd here on the island tonight. There's a lot of excitement in the air. The weather is fantastic. Now Harrisburg has to make their stamp on this game.
And Charleston has to recover from a game last night. Don't go away. This is going to be a great one right here. USL Soccer on Invicta Sports. It's all coming up next.
The economic recovery is underway, but lots of families are still hurting. If you're behind on your mortgage because you're unemployed, underemployed, or you've had unexpected medical bills, you may be eligible for help. The federal government's Emergency Homeowner Loan Program helps families facing foreclosure. You don't have to go it alone. Give us a call. With the Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency. Welcome home.
Got old electronics, such as a TV or computer to recycle? We've got your answer at the Dauphin County Recycling Center.
E-cycling is quick, easy, and free for all county residents.
You can also recycle old major appliances and other items safely at our center.
Have questions? Call our helpful staff at the Recycling Center or check our website for more information.
Recycling is now more convenient than ever.
Join us in going green to protect our environment.
Keep our earth clean and green. Wipe out waste and recycle.
Hi, my name is Kelly Lewis, president of TechQuest Pennsylvania. We started TechQuest Pennsylvania to attract technology investments into the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, working with business leaders, government leaders, and educators to find the best way to make Pennsylvania a leader in the innovation economy. From internships to workforce training to jobs to broadband, we work to develop the innovation economy in Pennsylvania. Check us out at techquestpa.com.
And welcome back to the Skyline Sports Complex for tonight's USL matchup. Happy to have you along here on Invictus Sports, along with USL Live. Chad Edwards and Larry Julius here bringing you all the action tonight. It's going to be a good one, Larry.
After the result they got last weekend and just all the things we've heard about the match, now we have an opportunity to see them live.
Let's take a look at the starters for tonight for the Charleston Battery. Dykstra will get to call in goal. Wiltsey, Taylor, Kelly, Caskey, Ba, Mack, Massey, Flatley, Zaire, and Falvey will get the call tonight to get the start for the Charleston Battery. I should mention head coach is Mike Anhauser. And for the Harrisburg City Islanders, getting his first start of the season here in regular season play will be Phil Tuttle for the Islanders. Also getting the call tonight is Bixler. Jeff Blow's back in the lineup. Jarrett Thayer is in here. Mbiji, Schofield, Basso, Ngulu, Pelletier, Calvano, and joining the team tonight, number 33, Ryan Richter, who's on loan from the Philadelphia Union, Larry.
And again, I guess I don't understand this move. He may have been training with them all week, but they've left out some notables from the Islanders. One of which that comes to my mind was Jason Hodgkin, left out of the lineup, who had a fantastic outing, I thought, last weekend. Needless to say, Coach Betcher has his reasons. I'm sure it's their affiliation with the Union that brings him into the lineup here tonight. So we'll see what the young man can do.
And taking a look, of course, the Charleston Battery playing the American division of the USL Pro. They sit in third place with the record, as we mentioned in the pregame, of 5-4-3. And Harrisburg in the national division, they sit in fifth place with a record of 2-3-2. So this is a out-of-division matchup here tonight, but this is, from what we've seen the last couple games, this should be a really close, well-matched up. Both of these teams coming from the USL 2 division from last year when they merged, so both of these squads pretty similar in the type of play and in the type of player that they are able to attract, so it should be a really good game.
Well, Charleston may have played in the second group last year, but in years past they've always been in the top flight.
Yes.
So that may have been a financial thing that's brought them back down, but needless to say, they're a good side, and it could be one of those games tonight that could bring a tremendous amount of excitement to the island.
Charleston playing in red, Harrisburg playing in their home whites. Great crowd on hand to kick off tonight's game. I know talking to Kirsten Rowe, the general manager of the Harrisburg City Islanders, she said that there was a lot of people calling in to get tickets ahead of time for this game, especially here and after the game last weekend. The type of challenge that it was for both teams, knowing it was going to be a good contest here on the island. So great crowd on hand as we get started here. Looking again back at those keys, Larry, we'll mention them one more time. We'll see how that plays out for both teams. Of course, Charleston coming off a game last night. It was a 1-1 tie. They played against New York. They want to attack early. They want to make sure that their legs are under them. They want to make sure that the fitness level stays high after playing last night. And they want to be solid in defense. And of course, Harrisburg, right away, they want a good start and they want to jump right on top of Charleston and test them after playing last night and see if they're wore out. If you can jump on them early, of course, that gets them back on their heels. Harrisburg wants to possess the ball, and finish when they get the opportunity. So those were the keys we mentioned in the pregame. Now we'll see how they execute them here in the game.
And, Chad, having played 15 years professionally in indoors, we many times played sometimes 2-3 games a weekend, and often people would say, well, your third game you're pretty worn out, you're exhausted, but often your third game you play a little smarter. You may not play as fast, you play a little smarter. Your second game was always one of the stronger games because you got your legs underneath you from coming off the road, and your second game you come out fairly strong. And right now Charleston has showed me that they're here to play and that they don't look any fatigued at all to me at all.
Now, Charleston, we'd mentioned, are pushing. They'll try and push about 4 players forward and really attack the goal. We'd mentioned that 4-5-2-1 or the 4-5-3 you'd mentioned. So we'll see how that works out. Of course, that's going to really test that defensive. That's always been strong for Harrisburg.
Well, the 4-3-2-1 that Charleston's bringing to the table is what they would call a Christmas tree formation, and one of which is playing with a high target. Obviously, they show a lot of pace right off the bat. The middle's pretty congested, so you're going to see a lot of play through the middle. Not as much flank play as you're going to see from Harrisburg, but you will see a very congested area, and Harrisburg's going to have a difficult time getting in behind them unless they expose them to the flanks. So it should be interesting. We'll see what the matchup does tonight.
Happy to have you along here in Invictus Sports. Thanks for tuning in and watching here. If you're watching on USL Live, of course, we have servicemen around the country as well watching. We say hello to you and thank you for your service. Down in the corner now, here comes the Islanders. They attack. Ball swung in near that far post. Calvano getting up on that one. It's going to go wide of the mark, but a nice ball swung in there by Stefan Basso for the City Islanders.
You know, we talked about this last broadcast, Chad, how well Calvano gets up for a small man, and you know, he was up.
He was way up
He's
there.
got some hops, and the fact of the matter is, as small as he is, he has some great leaping ability, and he's got great timing. You know, the leap was great, but the timing aspect of it can't be unwarranted. That is something that when you're tiny, you have to be able to read the flight of the ball. He did a great job right there.
There's the goaltender Phil Tuttle getting his start tonight. Talked to Bill Betcher. I wanted to know if there was anything that had to do with the stitches and the head injury that Chase Harrison had, and Billy said no. He just wants to start getting Tuttle in the mix a little bit and switch things up a little bit, make sure he's got fresh goaltenders all the way through the season. And this is just nothing against Chase Harrison. He just wants to get some more play and make sure he's got two solid experienced tenders back there.
And you never know. I mean, if something would happen again where Harrison would have been hurt, Tuttle would have been thrown in anyway. So Bill has to see how he reacts in the game situation. And this being a non-conference game, maybe this is a good opportunity for him. Not that he doesn't want to win this game, but because it's non-conference, maybe he feels like it's an opportunity to make a change.
And I know they played against, I think it was Reading, that he started that game, and he said he played very well in that one. So he was excited to get him in this game and see how things go as well. So,
which is who they draw for their Open Cup, if I'm not mistaken.
It is,
yeah.
And that'll be Tuesday night, the 14th of June. Will be the Open Cup match, so make sure you come on out and watch that. Part of the Lamar Cup. The Open Cup, that's a combination of all the professional leagues here in the United States. And it's some great soccer action. Harrisburg has advanced on. They played against New England. They've played against the DC United. So it's always fun to watch your local team play against some of the big MLS teams as well. Here's Angulo trying to run onto that. Good defensive play there, though, by Flatley for Charleston. Ball played in there. I don't even know where that one came from.
That was interesting. I saw a ball flying across, too, and I thought, where'd the other ball come from?
I have no idea. Oh, you know what it was? It looks like some kids were playing, and it ended up on the field. Right here, watch, the ball will come through. Right there. It looked like the ball had come on, and one of the players kicked it off. And very interesting, very interesting. Never know what's going to happen here on the island.
Oh, you don't. You don't.
And I apologize. I actually was saying the last kick there was Phil Tuttle, and had my marbles mixed up. It was actually Dykstra at the other end when they had the goal kick. There's Calvano on the far side now. Plays it ahead for Angulo, gets it back now. Islanders trying to play that possession game. They mentioned it. Try and stretch the field. Comes this near side for Basso now. Basso for Mbiji. Tries to get it back to him, and that one intercepted by Charleston. They'll start to work the center of the field. Charleston, I tell you what, Larry, doesn't look tired at all to me.
No, they don't. And again, I go back to what I was saying about, back in the day when we were playing 3 games in 3 days, and your second game, you came out strong. You felt strong. And again, the third game, you may not have had the same legs you did on the first and second day, but you played smarter. So sometimes, again, you played with quality. These guys don't look like they're skipping a beat at all.
Nice drive, nice ball played through there, and it was sent back out on the cross by Bixler. So we'll have the first corner kick of the game here for the Charleston Battery. And over to take the kick. Ball driven in here by Kasky, and that one comes, and again, there's Calvano to get ahead on it. Goes out of play. Massey will come over and make the throw now.
It also doesn't hurt, I should say, that the weather happens to be absolutely remarkable here tonight.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Absolutely cool weather, no humidity in the air. Again, last week it was a furnace out here.
Oh, yeah, it was brutal. A little bit of a shower early on and got a little bit sticky after that, but boy, it's just a beautiful night now for soccer here on the island, and it is a fantastic crowd here tonight.
This is the strongest crowd we've seen all year.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And they're getting treated to a fantastic game so far. That one headed on by Richter. Played on there by Wiltsey for the Battery as they send it back out near midfield. Pelletier will flick it over for Calvano to the far side, and Harrisburg will reset now. Back for Jeff Blows. Good to see Jeff Blows, a local prodigy here, or product, I should say, from the area, playing back in there. We're so used to seeing him in there. He's just a mainstay, and good to see him back in the lineup here tonight. Of course, he was one of our featured players in our opening.
Well, again, he had a strong outing last week, Chad, and with the injury-riddled Harrisburg City Islanders. And again, when you show well, you get your opportunities.
Boy, great opportunity down in front there.
One wasted by Charleston Battery on that one.
Yeah, Massey had a chance on that one. I think defensively they did a good job of grabbing some shirt and some getting a hold of him, not letting him get much on it.
Again, we talked about this with Harrison early on. Tuttle needs to come and get that.
You'll see the ball comes down into the corner here, and Kasky will send it across. And right there, oh, you know what? Great job, actually, by Basso to get in there and just disrupt Massey, because Massey, it was played perfectly to him. So good defensive play there for the Islanders.
A little gun shy maybe. Tuttle is coming off the bench, not playing that much, but that's within the 6, Chad. That's when he's got to lay out and punch or challenge something. That's too easily contested. Basso's job was, done well, but needless to say, one he didn't have to do.
Charleston trying to control this one, put it back on the turf, and knock it to the corner here, just clear the zone and reset as Tuttle comes over and gathers that one in for the Islanders. 9 during the 9th minute here, 0-0. Happy to have everybody along here with us on Invicta Sports and USL Live, bringing you USL Pro action here from Harrisburg City Islander.
At some point here, Harrisburg's going to have to just start to calm down and start to possess the ball. They're pretty much playing tit for tat here, knocking the balls long. They're looking for that high post, looking for a skim. They need to start taking the air out of the ball a little bit and saying, hey, this is our home. We're going to play the way we want to play. We're going to play at our pace. Again, they need to possess the ball. That was one of their key pieces that Coach Betcher felt like they needed, and they have yet to do that. Not enough to really be successful.
Ball sent up the middle there, and Beachy gets a foot on it. Here's Angulu with it. Angulu, nowhere to go. Now has to come to Basso over here. Basso sends it in for Mbiji. Mbiji is he on, and he's taken down. And boy, I don't know. This is, I don't think there's going to be a card, but he was basically tackled on this near side. But a good defensive play there. It looked like Mbiji was in, so Mark Miltsy had to go ahead and pull him down on the play. And we'll take a look at it here. Ball comes down in, and oh yeah, just more of just getting the feet tied up is what it was.
Yeah, it looked like they more got their feet tied up more than anything else.
So they'll set up a 2-man wall here. Pelletier will service the ball in. So Pelletier swings it near that far post. Headed on, and there's the first goal of the game. 1-0 City Islanders. And checking everybody on and wait. Now they're going to have a foul called down inside, a free kick now. We'll have to wait and see on the replay what it was here. Was it a goal? Actually, I'm not sure.
It's a restart coming
It
out.
is a restart coming out. We'll see down in front here. Oh, yeah, two players coming together. It looked like Mbiji on the far side was pulled down, but they're going to call it the other way.
I couldn't tell. They were definitely tangled up, one of which looks like it freed Thayer enough to finish that off.
Exactly. So either way, it's 0-0 here. I guess the controversy starts from last weekend, huh? Mbiji pulled down on this side, then pulled down inside the box. Nice ball down inside, and they're going to call it off there. And I'm not sure there. It looked like Flatley was on. We'll see if we can see that on the replay. We'll take a look at this down here in the goal again. Oh, Mbiji was tackled inside there. Not sure why they called that one back.
You can kind of look at that both ways. It looks like Brian kind of jumped straight into the defender and gave him no chance to play the ball. Then you could say, maybe he was protecting himself. It's a real quick judgment call. But, to have a free shot like that after the defensive player's getting pretty much tangled up, you almost got to come with the arrow going the other way.
Either way, it's 0-0 here, and the action continues. And this is turning out to be exactly the type of game that I expected, especially after the 2-1 victory in the matchup that they both played last Saturday. Controversial game, of course. All kinds of talk about that game around the USL, but either way, this is the grudge match here as a handball there as it was played down by Massey. We'll have a restart for the City Islanders.
All that conversation and buzz has created an environment here tonight, which is great. It's great for the clubs to have that kind of PR and a little bit of negativity, a little bit of nastiness that they may have had last week. Everybody wants to come out and see that. American fans love to see a physical style of play.
Controversy always breeds fans, and I tell you, I'm looking around here and I'm really really happy to see the number of people out here watching tonight's game, because this is a great product USL is putting together, and the Harrisburg City Islanders and the Charleston Battery. They all work hard to put a good quality product on the fields each and every week. And we enjoy bringing you all the action here through the power of television. Throwing on this near side. Now that one's sent in, headed on by Basso, back out of play. Throw in now for Charleston. Massey will take the throw. Long throw down this near side, flicked on. And that one just over the head of Kelly. Pelletier plays it outside for Calvano. Calvano still with it. Leaves it back in the center now for Richter. Richter tries to cut back, and he's hammered at midfield. And boy, you know, that could have gone either way. That's a quick restart, but we'll wait and see. He took a hard knock. It looked like he took a knee right to the side here. And that's number 25, Dane Kelly. And he did take a hard knock on that one, Larry.
Well, almost from his own player.
Yeah, you'll see here, this is a good angle for it. You'll see here, he takes a real hard right there.
Oh, his own player knocked.
Yeah, right into the side of him.
Exactly. Oh. Turf looks a little soft out there, Chad. I didn't get a chance to walk it prior to the game. It looks
we
a
got
little
quite
soft.
a bit of rain, actually. We did get quite a bit of rain, so. Well, while we wait to see how Kelly is, we'll take a pause so we can hear from some of our sponsors.
The economic recovery is underway, but lots of families are still hurting. If you're behind on your mortgage because you're unemployed, underemployed, or you've had unexpected medical bills, you may be eligible for help. The federal government's Emergency Homeowner Loan Program helps families facing foreclosure. You don't have to go it alone. Give us a call. With the Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency. Welcome home.
Got old electronics, such as a TV or computer to recycle? We've got your answer at the Dauphin County Recycling Center.
E-cycling is quick, easy, and free for all county residents.
You can also recycle old major appliances and other items safely at our center.
Have questions? Call our helpful staff at the Recycling Center or check our website for more information.
Recycling is now more convenient than ever.
Join us in going green to protect our environment.
Keep our earth clean and green. Wipe out waste and recycle.
So Kelly is back up and back in as we see him enter back onto the field. Blows, plays it to the outside. Calvano will flick this one down inside. Here's Schofield. Back now for Angulu, for Richter. Pelletier drives this one down and intended for Mbiji. Can he get there? No, he cannot. And, you know, almost a little dangerous there by Mbiji, giving a little bit of a push to the back of Mark Wiltsey. But a good job by Andrew Dykstra to quickly get out of that goal and get out of that ball.
Yeah, I was just going to compliment him, Chad. That was fantastic, the way he darted off this line. And you could actually see him out of the corner of my eye where when Pelletier went to flip that ball in, Dykstra was already jumping off his line in anticipation the ball was going to come out to the outside of the box. That was a fantastic jump. That, again, that separates goalkeepers a lot of times, just the way you read the game and your decisions and what have you. It was a fantastic play by Dykstra.
So they'll have a restart here on the throw-in for the Islanders. And they're going to back Basso up a little bit on the throw-in is what it is. Good time to mention that our head referee tonight is John McCluskey. The two sideline officials, Ian O'Neill and Michael Percy. And our fourth judge for tonight is Terrence Mull. So those are your officials for tonight's game. We appreciate them coming out and doing what they do each and every week, and not only at this level, but at the minor level as well. We need those referees. We always need referees. So if you're interested, of course, young kids, it's a great opportunity to learn even a little bit more about the game and get more knowledge by refereeing soccer. You understand a little bit more about the game, and there you see that Kelly is going to be called offsides. And taking a look, you probably can't tell on the TV, but some of the names are different on the jerseys because some of the players are wearing different jerseys tonight after playing last night.
It's interesting because earlier when when the player was down. I saw him. You saw him. You called him his name, and the name didn't add up with the back of the shirt.
Yeah.
Even though I have it written down, I'm looking out there, and I didn't get it the same way.
Kelly's wearing number 25 tonight, which is usually John Wilson's jersey, but Wilson out of the lineup tonight. And that partially is because Coach Mike Anhauser wanting to get some fresh legs in, of course, tonight. Some different players from what he had to play last night, so they're shuffling some jerseys around. And there you see Richter take it down on this near side. Richter on loan from the Philadelphia Union. And that's been a nice partnership between Harrisburg and Philadelphia over the last 2 years, is merging and being able to float those players back and forth and allowing them to get some experience. And you'll see here as he tries to cut through right here, and 2 players able to get a knock in on him, and Islanders get the restart.
You know, that relationship has been good, Chad. I mean, I was obviously part of some of the combines that they did earlier on, and it's nice to have both staffs working together like that, and seeing all the amounts of players coming out and trying to make these squads. But again, you know, Harrisburg sent some players up in the past.
That's right.
And players have come down here for work, as far as whether it's games, whether it's rehab, whether it's experience, you know, at this point. So it has been a good relationship, and I'm glad to see it working out.
Oh, I thought that one was going to go way too far back. Talk about testing Phil Tuttle on his first game here.
I'll tell you what, Tuttle did a fantastic job to recover from that, because that ball had eyes on it. It was looking to find the back of the net, and Tuttle did a great job getting behind it.
Islanders starting to put a few passes together, something that they want to do tonight. Bill said he wanted to see some possession game here tonight, and of course finish. We saw the finish on the restart, called back, but those are positives to build off of. Those are the things that he wanted to see. They had their first opportunity, they put it in the net.
You know, this is great possession here. They penetrated, they play a little knockdown, they change the point of attack, and it's with pace. It's not just done to get done, it's done with pace. This is what they need to do to be successful.
There's Richter in the center for Pelletier, and he lost it. Here comes Richmond. Check that Charleston now. Charleston driving this one down inside. And, boy, I tell you what, he looked like he was offsides that time, Kelly, and no call on it. Nice stoppage there, getting back on it for the City Islanders. And not allowing a shot to even get off, but he looked about 2 or 3 steps off on that one.
You know, he did, Chad, but I got to tell you, he made a really good flat run across the back. And as soon as the ball was played, almost off the sound of the foot.
Actually, you know what? He was onside. Good call by the official, and good heads-up look at that, Larry. He was on because of that flat run.
He made a good flat run across the back, and as soon as it's almost as if he didn't see the ball, he heard it leave the leather of the guy's boot, and then he's in. Yeah. Good heads-up play by Kelly. Well done.
And good call on your part and the officials. Ball sent up and out of play. We'll have a throw-in now for the Islanders. Bassel will take the throw.
You know, you hear a lot of commentators talk about some of the runs that forwards make around the world, and one of the names that comes to my mind is Fernando Torres, and he's kind of the king of the flat run across the back, and they just know how to release him just enough. Now, I haven't seen him that successful at Chelsea, but for Spain, he was very successful on the flat run. And when they bring that up, he's the first name that comes to my mind. And again, Kelly did a great job right there.
Long ball there. It's going to go out of play, though. The Islanders trying to work that far side of the field. The ball intended for Thayer. We'll have a Charleston throw-in. Good time to mention a few more of our sponsors as well. We'd like to thank HelpHireMe.com. Help Hire Me is changing the playing field for job seekers. Job seekers need a new and impressionable way to attract interested employers, and video is the perfect tool to help you stand out from the crowd. Your profile can be linked to your Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn accounts, as well as your website. Help Hire Me allows you to email your profile as many times as you want. So if you want to apply for a job, go ahead and put that link on your portfolio and send it out, and they can go and they can interview you right online. Let Help Hire Me find your dream job. HelpHireMe.com. We'd also like to thank LowerMyRx.net. Save up to 75% on your prescriptions, people. Literally, go to LowerMyRx.net. That card you see on the screen, you can print it out right now, and you can use it anywhere in the United States to save up to 75% on prescriptions. And if you got to get blood work or x-rays, you can save 50%. So if you don't have insurance, and even if you do have insurance, you need this card in your wallet. Just register it with your pharmacist, and you can save money. I actually use it, have saved money. It works. Go out and get your card right now. Go to Lower MyRx and print it and use it today. Thank you to them for sponsoring City Islander soccer all season long here on Invicta Sports.
Foul number 19 for Harrisburg, Jose Angulo.
Foul charged against Angulo. Need to check a match score, find out who's on top of the goal scoring charts, or catch up on the latest news? You can do it all by logging on to uslsoccer.com, the league's official website. You can find all the information you need on your favorite player, and you can also find the link there to USL Live, and you can watch all the action throughout the season on USL Live for Harrisburg City Islanders, as well as all the teams around the league, Charleston Battery as well. So hope you're enjoying our coverage here tonight on USL Live of Invicta Sports and City Islander soccer. Handball there, they're going to let it go, though it was unintentional, and the Islanders got a possession here, and now they'll switch it around. Nice run right down the middle of the field for Kelly here. Kelly inside the box, and too much of a touch there. Tell you what a fantastic ball played over the top, Larry.
Absolutely perfectly weighted. And I'll tell you, Kelly, again, holding that last line, Chad, just knows when to release himself. Fantastic ball in. Again, good counter. Good counter on Charleston's part.
And Falvey, look at the ball played in there. And a great run by Kelly, and just too hard of a touch there. But a great job also by Phil Tuttle to come out of that goal right away, cut down that angle in case Kelly could have got to the ball. But nice strike there by Charleston, and Harrisburg dodges a bullet.
Hey, Tuttle made himself big in the goal, forced him to go and beat him off the dribble, which of course subsequently, forced him to miss the goal. And Bixler did a great job to recover as well.
Absolutely.
Kelly would have been far better served if he would have just with the outside of the boot, dinked it to the back post, but you know what? That's easy for us to say up here in the booth.
Absolutely. And I tell you what, Coach Mike Anhauser had mentioned that they wanted to push forward. They were going to try and go with 4 players. And let's see here, we're going to have some, I guess, a little extracurricular activity going on here, and the referee's going to want to talk to Basso and also number 21, Massey. A little bit of pushing and extracurricular activity going on here.
I didn't actually see what happened that created the confrontation. He's obviously going to try to nip it in the bud.
Yeah, Basso gives a big push to the back as the ball's going out of play here. And they're going at it a little bit. They've been going at it a little bit all game here. And there was the push by Basso. So the referee's just going to settle him down, not give him cards, give him the warning. Next time, they're going to probably get the card, but he's going to try and get this game under control early, too, because especially after what happened last weekend, they're going to want to keep things under control.
Yeah, there's absolutely no doubt. I mean, they know that they've gotten the brief on this game, and they know that they don't want it to get out of control. They want to see this game end up, 11-11. Both coaches look like they're getting a little upset at the moment, especially
there you see Mike Anhauser. He was up off the bench there, pretty excited. But that's good. You want to see coaches, you want to see the passion from them. You want to see them getting involved in the game. You want to see them coaching.
Well, that a lot of times the players feed off that energy.
Sure.
If you have a coach that's in with you, even though he can't play, I mean, he certainly cares enough about his players to get up and say something. Some players love that. Some players love the coaches that don't do that. So, that's why you have sometimes assistants and head coaches. Sometimes the head don't say a lot. The assistant's a little bit more animated.
Sure.
Sometimes vice versa. Good cop, bad cop.
There's Mack with a nice run down along that end line. That one knocked away by the Islanders. Played right back in by Charleston. A good job. As the Islanders, number 13, Basso, gets a foot on it and clears his own. Charleston driving it down inside. Calvano will get to it. Mbiji settles it now. Here's Richter now. Richter's going to work this outside. And that one's going to go off of the Islanders and out of play.
Tell you what, that's a tough challenge on Taylor coming in on the back of Richter like that. That's really no need that tight to the end line. He wasn't going anywhere. That's a risque challenge if you ask me.
Tell you what, the battle that I'm really enjoying right now is the battle between Dustin Bixler and Dane Kelly for Charleston. Kelly's just having a fantastic game, I think, early on here. He's limping a little bit right now. And you wonder if that's anything with soreness from last night or if he just took a knock. But that's been a great battle so far early in this game. And they're both testing each other, that's for sure.
Well, Bixler's going to have to play him smart because he's not going to match him in his pace. He's going to have to play him smart because Kelly's got some tremendous breakaway speed. But Dustin's a hard tackler, and he knows that. So he realizes he's going to have to get a couple pieces of Kelly early on to kind of let him know that not in my house are
Right.
you going to just sprint right by me without me letting you know I'm here.
Exactly. Taylor will take the corner kick now for Charleston. Low-driven ball, and that one headed out again by Calvano.
He's good in the air, Chad. He's good in the air. I mean, again, he always seems to find the ball timing. He reads it, anticipates it.
What a great throw out there by Phil Tuttle. He almost had Schofield streaking down that right side.
Chase Harrison's going to have his job challenged a little bit here by Phil Tuttle tonight. Would you love to have that kind of controversy in your team?
You want competition. Competition breeds better players.
Sure, absolutely.
Here's Angulo streaking down that far side, and they'll play it all the way back now for Dykstra. There you see Dykstra for Charleston. Bixler stepping up there, and Jeff Blows would just drive it back down in. Angulo was offside, so he can't play it. And Dykstra slips on the play. Tell you what, that field's looking a little bit slicker than we think. We got quite a bit of rain when it did rain around 3 o'clock. We actually had to stop setting up. It was pouring here.
Wow.
It was really coming down, and it came down for a good hour. So that field's definitely spongy, and we're seeing several people falling out there, but that was almost a dangerous one.
Sorry, Chad, I didn't mean to step on you. I mean, again, we've talked about this in previous broadcasts, too. This pitch holds softness anyway.
Right.
And any bit of moisture you get to it, it does not help it. It looks a little thick tonight. It doesn't look like it was freshly mowed like it had last week. Needless to say, it just can't hold the moisture.
Right. Long ball out for Schofield now along the far side. Schofield waits. Here's Pelletier now. Pelletier has him beat you to this near side, staying real wide. Thayer plays it back for Pelletier now. Pelletier waits, nothing there. It's got Calvano to the outside. Here's Thayer again. Harrisburg playing the possession game right now. Ball left for Richter now. Richter plays it back outside for Pelletier now. Pelletier tries to play that through. Intercepted by Charleston. Here you go again. I tell you what, Kelly playing a fantastic game. Possession the ball well, really defending and shielding the ball well when it's coming to him. That ball's going to go off of Charleston, but Dykstra will keep it in play. And I think it looked like the Islanders, some of the fans were saying the goalie come back down out of bounds. Or out, I should say, back in play. So they'll play it to the far side. We're in our 31st minute, 0-0. We'll take a pause so we can hear from some of our sponsors.
The economic recovery is underway, but lots of families are still hurting. If you're behind on your mortgage because you're unemployed, underemployed, or you've had unexpected medical bills, you may be eligible for help. The federal government's Emergency Homeowner Loan Program helps families facing foreclosure. You don't have to go it alone. Give us a call. We're the Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency. Welcome home.
Got old electronics, such as a TV or computer to recycle? We've got your answer at the Dauphin County Recycling Center.
E-cycling is quick, easy, and free for all county residents.
You can also recycle old major appliances and other items safely at our center.
Have questions? Call our helpful staff at the Recycling Center or check our website for more information.
Recycling is now more convenient than ever.
Join us in going green to protect our environment.
Keep our earth clean and green. Wipe out waste and recycle.
Charleston with a quick throw down this near side. Here's Kelly again with it. Kelly still with possession. Lays it back now for Taylor. Taylor drives this to the far side. Islanders able to move it back out to midfield. Something that right now there's been a little bit of a change in the possession of this game. Charleston really about the last 4 or 5 minutes controlling this game, starting to get more offensive pressure here. Something that Bill Betcher did not want to see.
Yeah.
But exactly what Charleston wanted to do was get out early and try to get some control of this game and attack early.
Well, Harrisburg had some great possession for a good length of time right there, and again, they were in control of the game. Getting away from that, it certainly isn't going to help them. You definitely do not want Charleston to maintain possession and to dictate the tempo of this game. This is their house. This is their pitch. You know, you want to be able to control that. So Harrisburg just needs to go back to what they were doing, keep the ball moving around, moving it quickly, making things happen, and they're going to find some success. Again, this is better. Now, you know, it's not on. They release, they bring it back to the back, and they work it around. That's what they were not doing last week. Now, this is much better.
I thought Tuesday they did a lot of this, though. I thought they were doing much better possession-wise. But, of course, that was after the red card, and they were possession just to kind of wear down, you know, Pittsburgh. But
and it was hot, if you could remember. I mean, and Pittsburgh pretty much had to pick its time when it wanted to come.
Exactly.
But you're right. They were a little bit more possession-orientated on Tuesday, but needless to say.
They need more of this all the time, though.
Yes, absolutely. To build on for the rest of the year, Chad, is what I'm referring to. More so for the future, not so much just one game in, one game out. This is something that they have to build on and build that continuity and be that possession-oriented team. You know, and again, dispossessed again. Jason's given the ball away 3 or 4 times already this first half. He's got to do a better job of connecting his passes.
Islanders looking to build it from the back now. Pelletier with it. Plays it for Bassel. They look to this near side. Bassel chips this one down in for Angulu. Angulu, nice job pulling that down. Still with possession. Angulu fought hard there, and Bassel comes up with it, keeps it in play. Here's Richter with it now. Richter looking, cuts, and good job by Charleston to knock that one away as they start to recharge. Here's Schofield making a good run, but a great blow-by there by number 20, Mack. Mack drives this one in front, and almost getting there was Kelly, but tell you what, Schofield made a big burst over there, but couldn't stay with him, and now he's starting to feel that left leg. I don't know if he pulled something there. He really took off to try and get over to number 20, James Mack.
Mack just took off.
Oh,
he hit
flew.
another gear.
Basso gets ahead in that one, and
oof, he's a big boy.
I guess so.
He's coming through those challenges hard. I mean, everybody stood and watched. See, Harrisburg's got to, again, get back to what they were doing. That long ball to Angulo, unless he's on a run, isn't going to get to that. Yeah, it's kind of a pointless ball, one of which that you're going to get dispossessed, and then you're going to give Charleston the ball right back again.
You know, something that's missing in this game that I'm so used to seeing with Jeb Blow. Jeb Blows is playing in the middle of the field tonight. Oh, a great run again by Kelly. He's on here. Oh, and he's pushed down inside the box. No call by Calvano. Whoa, and the controversy continues. I guess one on one end of the field, one on the other.
I'm sorry to say, I think Harrisburg just dodged a bullet on that one.
Big time. Because Kelly was back inside again all alone.
Calvano had 2 arms flexed forward, pushing him over. I can't believe.
The only thing I can think is that Kelly kind of backed up to try and play that ball, and maybe the referee didn't see the push.
That's possible. You got linesmen on the flank, though, that are seeing it. And boy, oh, boy. And that would have been inside the danger zone as well. It's inside the 18.
Well, that just adds to the allure of this game. We had one down in the offensive end for Harrisburg called back, and now one there, so it could be a 1-1 game at this point. Here's Mbiji now, Mbiji with it for the Islanders. Waits, switches it up, and that one's given away now to Mack as Mack tries to charge forward. Now Charleston will reset. Comes to the near side now for Falvey. Falvey will work it outside for Wiltsey. Wiltsey drives this one down in. Will Kelly get there? Quickly out of the net is Tuttle. Tuttle will just play this one up and out of play. Good smart play there by Phil Tuttle. He's been tested. He's been on his game, especially coming in first game, of the season. He's been sharp.
And you know what? Again, that's all he had.
That's right.
That's the only ball he had. And you don't want to fool with Kelly's pace. I mean,
exactly.
Kelly's pace has been outstanding so far.
Offside, Charleston. Replay the latest action from City Island.
Pelletier with it now.
8 Islanders home games will be televised taped delay on Tuesday evenings at 7 p.m. on ABC's Weather Channel. Visit the Islanders website for the complete schedule. In Vica, one of the Central PA leaders in video production, brings you the
Lively crowd tonight, Chad. If you can hear a lot of people screaming and hollering, a lot of people are getting into it. You know, right now this game's favoring Charleston just from the standpoint that they're on the road, second game. They're compact. They're not over chasing. They're taking their opportunities when they get them, but they're putting themselves in a position to be successful by just denying the Harrisburg City Islanders from moving forward. And right now, the longer they can keep this game 0-0 and maybe take one at the end, or maybe get away with a point, which is, I'm sure they don't want the point, but if they can get away with a point, you know, they're doing themselves a service.
Absolutely, and I was mentioning before the foul there that Jeff Blows, you know, he's playing in the back in the center, and I'm so used to seeing his overlap runs, and that's always been a dangerous thing for the Islanders. Is he's been sneaking up, and he really gets an offensive mind there, and we're not seeing that from Jeff Blows with him in the middle of the field. And that was always kind of a leg up that the Islanders had. So I wonder if maybe that'll change in the second half and see if they might move him to an outside where he can overlap a little bit more.
Well, my guess is that he's playing in lieu of Marshall with a broken foot, and then Welker being injured with an injured ankle, and possibly Welker getting some minutes, but potentially no minutes if they can sustain this. And but you know, Jeff playing a little out of position, hasn't done a bad job yet tonight.
Yeah, doing a good job.
You know, he's a solid, versatile player for him. Yep. Solid, versatile player for the Islanders for many years, and can pretty much put him anywhere.
He's that quiet player that does a great job. He's solid every time, and he does it without a lot of fanfare. You know what I mean?
Right, and he's never going to get a lot of acclimates because he's not a flashy player, but he's a solid player. He reminds me of Jarrett Thayer. Jarrett Thayer, we don't say his name all that
often.
He gets it and plays it, and gets it and plays it. The ones with a little bit of flair, the ones that tend to have a lot of excitement to their game, and the ones that get noticed the most.
And you want both types of players, because you want headstrong players that always, you know, they're going to be there and they're going to do the job every time for you, and a player like we just said, Jeff Blows and Thayer. But you also need the flashy players like an Mbiji, who plays on emotion and plays, you know, whatever just happened to the game is what fuels him.
And again, you know, the flashiness of a player generally brings the people to the edge of their seats in the stands.
That's right.
You know, but then you need the complementary players, the ones that just do their job, don't get dispossessed, have a very high percentage rate as far as keeping possession, and then they're just good, solid, quality soccer players. Every team has to have that.
Absolutely.
You can't have 11 Messis on the field at one time, as we all know. You know, as fun as that may be to watch, you can't have it, because somebody has to be that complementary player to move the ball into him so he can do his thing.
CPR Rex is the official physical therapy and athletic training provider of Motor City Islanders, multiple locations in Central PA. Visit CPR
Center of the field here. Here comes Richter. Now Richter has to check it up and touch it back for Pelletier. Now Pelletier is going to switch to his near side for Basso. Basso down along the end line, swings this one in, and that one goes. Boy, I thought that was going to dip underneath that post. What a great ball down in there.
You know, Dykstra just took a step forward thinking it was going to start to hook to the back, and the ball just never released. It just kept carrying.
Take a look at it. Basso gets a nice step here. He looks to swing this one. Now, I don't think it was intended on goal, but boy, he almost found that the backside of the netting.
No, he would have been far better served if he would have got his hip around the back of the ball and curled the backside so it would whipped away from the keeper. Again, that's probably what threw Dykstra off a little bit. He's looking for that bending ball, and the ball just kept carrying forward. And, of course, you know, it was no trouble for him.
So still 0-0 in our 42nd minute. Don't go anywhere. We're going to take a pause so we can hear from some of our sponsors.
The economic recovery is underway, but lots of families are still hurting. If you're behind on your mortgage because you're unemployed, underemployed, or you've had unexpected medical bills, you may be eligible for help. The federal government's Emergency Homeowner Loan Program helps families facing foreclosure. You don't have to go it alone. Give us a call. With the Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency, welcome home.
Got old electronics, such as a TV or computer to recycle? We've got your answer at the Dauphin County Recycling Center.
E-cycling is quick, easy, and free for all county residents.
You can also recycle old major appliances and other items safely at our center.
Have questions? Call our helpful staff at the Recycling Center or check our website for more information.
Recycling is now more convenient than ever.
Join us in going green to protect our environment.
Keep our earth clean and green. Wipe out waste and recycle.
Getting ready for some closing moments here of this first half. A little bit of controversy, but I tell you, it's been an exciting game, Larry, I think. I think it's been a high-energy game and an exciting one. Schofield trying to get there, can't. Nice defensive play there out of the back by number 22, Sean Finn. Oh boy, I don't know on that one.
Boy, that was so close.
Flatley makes the great defensive play here. They send the ball forward, and it looked like we'll have to take a look. I don't want to say anything because Kelly's been on or off a couple times. We'll have to wait and see on the replay, see how that one was. But ball sent ahead here for Schofield. We'll see if we can look at that in a little bit. Ball driven down in, it comes to midfield. Let's see if we take a look at the replay on that, see if he was off here. I don't know.
Boy.
It was close.
He's right in between them. You know, of course, you know, you have to err on the side of caution. The official's right there. We're really not on line with them. But I will say this, you know, a good forward is going to catch himself offside. He's initiating the run. He's initiating the point of attack. So he is putting himself in a position to force them to play the ball through. And if you're going to play one up on top, you know he's all by himself.
Exactly.
So, again, would he be better making the flat runs? Absolutely, but he's not going to be able to every time. That ball was dispossessed in midfield. They turned it over. Taylor had an opportunity to slip him in, and he did, just a hair off.
Ball swung back in for Massey. Massey can't get possession on that one. Nice ball thrown back by Ba. One of our players we had mentioned in our pregame. Richter with it, leaves it for Calvano now. Calvano plays it ahead for Mbiji, back for Richter. Richter's going to give it back for Calvano down that far side, near the top of the box here. Left, outside now for Schofield. Schofield tries to just chip that one in. And what a great buildup, but that's the type of finishing I think that Bill Betcher was talking about. We need to crack that one right away at the goal.
Great buildup. I mean, one that's going to go unnoticed is what Angulo did. Angulo had a little dummy over the top of the ball, which forced the defenders to freeze, and then Thayer slipped in Schofield. Schofield would have been so better to hit that ball first time and crack it to the back post. Pardon me.
Flatley did a good job of getting over on there for the defense for Charleston as well, and that ball played in off the corner kick, punched out. Here's Schofield again with it. Schofield trying to chip that across. Is blocked by the defense again of Charleston. They'll quickly drive this one forward so they can clear the zone as we're in our 55th minute here of play in our first half. Hope you're enjoying our coverage here tonight on USL Live and on Invicta Sports. Bringing you some great USL Pro Soccer action.
Now you're really starting to see that 4-3-2-1 come in effect here for Charleston. They're really starting to sit back, you know, almost, Chad, as if they're just looking to play the half out right here, just get out of here unscathed. But it's really evident, it's very evident now where the 4-3-2-1 is coming in effect.
Absolutely.
They've almost fallen into a 4-5-1 at this point.
So player down here, we'll have a restart. Looks like it is. All right, we'll take a look here before. Number 32 getting up, that's Falvey. Down the far side, Calvano sends it in, like you said, and Gulu lets it go there. It comes to Schofield, and right here, he needs to crack that. Almost just touch it to his left foot and let it go.
You know what, yes, and again, David's a little flat-footed right there. As that ball's coming, you got to see Thayer's going to slip you that ball, and the defenders are coming at you, coming aside. So if David just steps one step into it, hits it first time, and curls it to the back post, especially on a surface that's flat like this, he would have had a better chance. By the time he sailed that ball, everybody got set. They had an opportunity to defend. The keeper had a chance to pick it up. And as the keeper was sliding to his right, if he would have hit it first time to the back, then he would have had a better opportunity. But again, that's easy said from up here. David has to make his decisions, and we see that from here. But needless to say, it wasn't in the back of the net.
Right. Ball will go out. It'll be a Charleston throw-in. So we're in the stoppage time now. We played 1:30 in stoppage time. We'll have to wait and see. We had a little bit for a couple injuries in the first half. Here's Richter, far side headed on now. Played down this near side for Schofield now, or far side I should say. Schofield checks up, trying to get a turn. Good battle going on over there. Finally knocked off of Schofield and out of play, so we'll have a throw in for Richmond, and the referee's got the whistle in the mouth, so probably once the ball's in play here. And there it is. So good first half of play though, Larry. Let's put on your coach's hat. I like to do this at halftime. Take a look at both teams. We look back at our keys to the game. For Charleston, attack early, solid defense, their fitness level. Where are they at? What changes should they make for the second half?
I suspect they're going to come out the same way they ended the half. Okay. I don't see them making many changes. I don't think there's a need to make any changes. Nobody looked fatigued to me. They attacked, I think, fairly well. I think they've done a nice job of getting in behind them. I mean, they've had a couple very close opportunities. Timing issues more than anything. If they're playing just the one up on top as they are, I'm sure that's what they're thinking. They're thinking, we'll take what we can get, and then we'll run at them hard in the second half. Harrisburg has done a nice job as far as possessing the ball. I think they had the better possession in the first half. They've had a couple opportunities, the one that, when BG mugged them in the back over there. I don't consider that a great opportunity, but needless to say, it was, a restart they could have done a little bit better on. But for the most part, I think Harrisburg's outplayed them technically. Tactically have done a nice job of keeping it. Now it's going to be up to Charleston to come out and reshuffle their lineup a little bit. Same players, but maybe advance a player forward. 45 minutes left. Now they can start thinking about changes in the second half, maybe 10 minutes in if Kelly runs out of gas.
And Bill Betcher, same thing. Come out with the same lineup and wait until probably that 65th minute or so before you make a change to see where you're at in the game at that point?
I suspect he will. I don't necessarily see any reason for any changes unless there's something that goes on that we don't know about if somebody's injured or overly fatigued. But I would imagine he'll bring some fresh legs in about the 60th, 65th minute. Bill's noted for doing something like that, and inject maybe Hoskins here on the left-hand side. So other than that, I'm pretty much confident they're going to come out the way they just left the pitch.
Sounds good. It was a good first half here. Hope you're enjoying all the action on Invicta Sports. Stay with us. We'll come back with some highlights of the first half and second half when we return.
The economic recovery is underway, but lots of families are still hurting. If you're behind on your mortgage because you're unemployed, underemployed, or you've had unexpected medical bills, you may be eligible for help. The federal government's Emergency Homeowner Loan Program helps families facing foreclosure. You don't have to go it alone. Give us a call. We're the Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency. Welcome home.
Got old electronics, such as a TV or computer to recycle? We've got your answer at the Dauphin County Recycling Center.
E-cycling is quick, easy, and free for all county residents.
You can also recycle old major appliances and other items safely at our center.
Have questions? Call our helpful staff at the Recycling Center or check our website for more information.
Recycling is now more convenient than ever.
Join us in going green to protect our environment.
Keep our earth clean and green. Wipe out waste and recycle.
Hi, my name is Kelly Lewis, president of TechQuest Pennsylvania. We started TechQuest Pennsylvania to attract technology investments into the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, working with business leaders, government leaders, and educators to find the best way to make Pennsylvania a leader in the innovation economy. From internships to workforce training to jobs to broadband, we work to develop the innovation economy in Pennsylvania. Check us out at techquestpa.com.
And welcome back. We're getting ready to start our second half of play. Let's take a look at the highlights from our first half. It was an exciting one as we kicked off at 7 o'clock here to start this matchup between Charleston and Harrisburg. And right away down that far side as Charleston had the first opportunity of the game. Nice ball played down in and just wide of the mark. And then some good battles out here. A good run down the far side. Schofield trying to chase down their Mac. And then here, one opportunity in the game that came later And right here, Schofield couldn't knock that one in, but the best opportunity is off the free kick here. The ball comes all the way in and headed on there, but you can see the official come in here and call it off, and it was because of Mbiji getting tangled up down in there with the defender from Charleston, but still 0-0 after one half of play. It's going to be an exciting second half. As we take a look out there, Jason Hodgkins has come in right off the bench to start the second half, so that's a change immediately by Bill Betcher, so wanting to maybe change things up early.
Hodgkins and Noon.
Yep.
So that's interesting. Maybe he was disappointed in their lack of production, and he went ahead and made some changes. So looks like Mbiji. Oh, and Touré's in, Chad.
Okay, so Touré's in.
So he went for the gusto right off the bat. So we'll see what happens here.
So 3 fresh subs right away. Is that a dangerous move?
Well, I
to
mean,
get an injury.
Bill obviously has his reasons. Maybe he felt like the players were not being productive. Needless to say, there was not a lot of scoring opportunities, so that very well could be why he made the changes. Obviously, he injected some quality players with Hodgkins, Touré, and Noon, all 3 playing up on top, with Hodgkins being a left footer playing on the right side, looking for a ball to maybe whip into the back, coming off the right side. And Touré, you know, we saw him play Tuesday and had a great outing on Tuesday. So I'm sure Bill has his reasons, so we'll see how it pans out, Chad.
And taking a look out there, I'm looking down through the numbers. I don't see any change made for Charleston to start the second half, so they start with the same players. So no changes at all there. We'll quick take a look at the stats as we move down the boards here. Shots on goal for Charleston, 2, Harrisburg with 1. Saves for Charleston, 0, Harrisburg 1. Fouls in that first half, 4 for Charleston, 3 for Harrisburg. Charleston charged several offsides, 6 for them, 1 for Harrisburg, and corner kicks, 2 for Charleston, 1 for Harrisburg, and of course no bookings in that first half. And that's a good thing to see, especially after the type of the contest that they had last weekend.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, in talking to halftime to one of the local reporters, he had mentioned that Marples and Patterson had played all 90 last night. So if he can bring them at the 60, 65th mark, you know, with a good scoring punch, because, you know, Patterson's been a thorn in the side for the Islanders and had the game tying goal last night against New York. There's a very good opportunity. We'll see those 2 guys come in about the 60, 65th mark, like I said, and it'll inject some pace and it'll inject some scoring opportunities here for Charleston.
Here goes Richter down that far side, and Richter has that ball roll out of bounds. We'll have a throw in for Charleston here. Take a look at this as Richter trying to go down. Good battle over there. Both of them go to the turf. And Charleston will get the throw in. There's Richter again down the far side of the field for Harrisburg. Richter. And have not been that impressed with his footwork on the ball here tonight, Larry. It might be just him getting in the mix. Don't know how much he was playing up with the Union. So maybe just trying to get his legs back underneath him. But just seems like the possession of the ball has been a little too far away and not all that controlled to start tonight.
You know, I've kept some tabs on the Union's MLS franchise. I just haven't seen his name in the lineup ever. They've been having a fairly good MLS season so far, but maybe he's here just to get the minutes because he hasn't been getting them there. Maybe he's a little bit rusty, what have you. But I'm sure he's training. I'm sure he's in a position where he's playing with some of the best players in the league. But again, game situation's all the difference.
Ball driven down in. Hodgkins gets a flick on that one, and this one will be sent up and out of play by Charleston. Charleston defensively has been very strong here tonight.
They have. You know, again, now they're almost in a 4-4-1-1. You almost can call it a 4-4-2 with a withdrawn striker, with a high striker. I'm sure they don't want to give up one because that's going to force them out to really open up and expand. Harrisburg's going to need to really open this game up to break in behind that. Going down the gut isn't going to make things easy for Harrisburg. They're shutting that off. So they're going to need to come in through the flank if they want to get anything, or through a restart.
Ball intended for TJ Noon, and it was knocked out of bounds, though, by the Charleston battery. By Flatley, and we'll see what Noon can do. He usually injects a whole bunch of energy when he comes into the game. Jason Hodgkins will take the kick on the far side. He'll send it in left-footed, try and swing it away from the goal. A low-driven ball in that one. Knocked on there by...
Looked like Touré to me.
Was it Touré that got a foot on it?
You know, Jay would have been far better served if he would have just driven the ball just a little bit higher. That low squirting ball is a good ball if you have a play for it, but playing in that short, I didn't really see that. There's too many bodies behind the ball.
Here's some of the fans on hand here tonight. Great crowd here on a Saturday night in central Pennsylvania. Skyline Sports Complex in City Island.
I don't think we're going to get much better weather than this, Chad. A little overcast. It's nice and cool. Players can run all day in this. You know how some of our broadcasts have been in the past, and it can get brutally hot out here, especially on the island in this little bit of a bowl-shaped scenario. They're very, very fortunate to have such a good night for soccer.
Dykstra sends this one up. Headed on there by the Islanders. It'll go up and out of play as Basso was able to get ahead on it. Long throw in comes to Jeff Blows now. Blows will send it all the way back for Tuttle. Tuttle drives this one. Looking for Torrey. Torrey goes up on it. Good head ball there by Flatley for Charleston. Again, Flatley gets ahead on it, going up for Torrey. Good strong defender there for Charleston. Making sure he's getting some type of a little bit of action on that ball. And we'll have a throw in now for the Islanders. Mack trying to see if he could pull a foul there. Richter with it now. He'll leave it back for Calvano. Calvano center for Pelletier. Take a look at the foul here, and again, Mack could have maybe got a call, but it was good acting there. Didn't get the Academy Award on that one, though.
I wouldn't have called that one, Chad. I thought, he heard a little shin guard tap, and right away he wanted to call.
Ball switched over here, intended for Richter. Too far for him, goes out of play. Armstrong sends it all the way back for Flatley, and they'll swing it all the way back for Dykstra now.
Bill's got his players up on top doing an excellent job of interchanging. They're going from left to right, switching constantly. You're seeing Hodgkins going from the right to the left to the center. That opportunity right there, we saw Noon check back for the ball, and Thayer slide himself up to a center as almost a target player. More of a little interplay, a little bit of movement to kind of create a little bit of a deception for Charleston, if you will, and it's putting them in a position to think. Again, now look at that side of the pitch, though. The only thing I would say to that is it's all congested on that side of the pitch. So they're playing into Charleston's hand. They need to spread the field out, force Charleston to open up and have to run a little bit after playing last night. That would be to Harrisburg's best plan.
Noon plays it for Hodgkins. Hodgkins for Richter. Too far for him. Richter trying to get there. Good clear now for Charleston. They try and clear the zone, but Harrisburg again tries to get that right back in with Basso, and that one's going to be played up and out of bounds. Charleston will have the throw in. Long throw, far side for Kelly. Here's Jeff Blows with it. He'll send it all the way back for Phil Tuttle. Nothing there, so Tuttle's got time, can relax and wait. He's going to drive the ball. Looking now for Richter. Richter gets up in the air, gets a flick on. Now Torrey flicks on, nobody on the run. Torrey trying to get there, almost does. And the ball comes up. Here comes Calvano doing what he does best. Wins that one in the air. And Taylor goes down hard. He looked like he took a knock to the back of the head, and now they'll stop it. And Taylor took a hard knock there. Looked like maybe Calvano following through with the head. We'll see here. Yeah, it looks like Calvano's grabbing the side of his head. Looks like the two of them, Calvano's definitely got a knock as he's over. They're looking at him as well. And good to see him get up. And both players. And Calvano, actually, they're checking his jaw now. Looked like maybe the back of his head. We'll take a look one more time here. It's right at the end here. Oh yeah, those are the ones you don't like to see. Taylor coming backwards and Calvano going through it. Calvano caught it in the side of the face and Taylor caught it on the back of the head. Those are the ones that give you a headache for a while, that's for sure, especially Calvano. You hit the side of the head, that temple area.
Well, credit due to Calvano for challenging.
Yep.
Taylor very brave getting up and withstanding that, because I know Calvano came pretty hard, and as we said in the past, that he's very good in the air for as small as he is. He's got great timing, great leaping ability, and Taylor felt the brunt of that one.
All played up and out of bounds off of Charleston's number 16 Armstrong. Ball thrown in there, quickly ahead now. Kelly trying to settle it, he does. Ball with it now, Ball loses it. Here's Noon ahead for Torre. Torre trying to touch that back. Intercepted and set to the far side by Falvey now. Wiltsey plays it to the outside. That one gets past Basso, but now Basso able to come up with it as player for Richmond, or check that rather, Charleston falls on the far side. Here's Hodgkins, touches inside for Torre. Torre leaves it back for Torre now. Torre for the Islanders in the center of the field. Noon tries to get a turn. It's still with Torre though. Hodgkins will swing it and that one knocked out. Great buildup by the Islanders, but good defensive play by Richard. Check that, Charleston getting back and defended on that one.
Well, so far, Bill's gamble of making 3 changes at halftime has been very explosive and has done very good for Islanders. It's put them in a position to attack relentlessly, and they found some success. So we'll continue to see if they can build this together.
Center of the field now, settled down by Thayer now. Thayer waits in for Noon. Noon touches for Thayer again, and the Islanders looking to attack down the center again. This one gathered in by Charleston as they start to work it up. Charleston, center of the field now. Taylor waits, sends it in for Kelly. Kelly settles it down now. Here comes Charleston. This one tipped down inside, and Tuttle will get there. Nice through ball intended for Mack. And Tuttle, sharp, up off the line, gets to that ball quickly.
Well, Chad, you know, we did talk about this briefly. I mean, this is where Harrisburg's got to open the game up a little bit.
Dangerously long driven ball. Boy, Kelly looking to see if he could get Tuttle off the line, and he had him.
He did. He would have been better served to go for a lofted ball. He didn't need to drive it like that. He could have got underneath it and just floated it in with a little bit of pace. But, again, I don't know. Maybe he's a little fatigued. He could have went at Bixler 1v1. He knows he's got his number with pace. Surprising he didn't try and take him on.
Take a look at it right here. Yeah, Tuttle was out quite a bit. Actually, you know, Tuttle got back pretty quick, so he would have had to drive it.
Yeah, well, true. True. I mean, I see your point, but I think that, again, that's an inaccurate ball. That's going to be 1 out of 10 you're going to hit on the fly in the frame right there.
Exactly. Kelly almost got behind Bixler there that time. Here comes Charleston, top of the box, and that one knocked away by Calvano. The energy of this game starting to pick up now. Hodgkins, far side of the field. Thayer drives this one intended for Torre. Torre knocks 2 players. Actually, 2 players come together for Charleston. I tell you what, that was dangerous there. 32. Falvey come in. And Flatley is the other one, and they hit head-to-head, I think, there. Flatley, we'll have to wait and see. That was dangerous. That was definitely dangerous. We'll take a look at this one. You'll see this ball come in, and the 2 players collide. Oh, yeah.
Well, that's a blatant miscommunication by the Charleston players.
Yeah, Flatley's the one that took the worst of it. And he is still down on the field, and they send out medical attention immediately. So we'll see how he's doing. So we're in our 58th minute, 0-0. Good time for us to hear from some of our sponsors.
The economic recovery is underway, but lots of families are still hurting. The economic recovery is underway, but lots of families are still hurting. If you're behind on your mortgage because you're unemployed, underemployed, or you've had unexpected medical bills, you may be eligible for help. The federal government's Emergency Homeowner Loan Program helps families facing foreclosure. You don't have to go it alone. Give us a call. With the Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency. Welcome home.
Got old electronics, such as a TV or computer to recycle? We've got your answer at the Dauphin County Recycling Center.
E-cycling is quick, easy, and free for all county residents.
You can also recycle old major appliances and other items safely at our center.
Have questions? Call our helpful staff at the Recycling Center or check our website for more information.
Recycling is now more convenient than ever.
Join us in going green to protect our environment.
Keep our earth clean and green. wipe out waste, and recycle.
So both players okay and back to play. We love to see that. Don't want to see anybody go down on the pitch. Calvano still with it, sends it in for Torre. Torre trying to knock it down for Calvano. Miscommunications there. Taylor with it. Taylor, long ball in for Kelly. Kelly to the far side. Tries to cut it back. Kelly with it, gets a shot off, and that one just goes wide of the mark. Great buildup by Charleston on that drive.
Tell you what, again, Kelly very dangerous. Taylor with a well-weighted ball in, so Kelly could run onto it. Again, Chad, I'm thinking Kelly's got to bang that with his right foot. He cut it back. I think he had a better chance with his right.
Right here, get to it, let it ride.
Right there.
Yep.
Yep.
So Islanders able to defend that one. They got to get out of it after this corner kick, though. Great contest here in our 60th minute of play. Happy to have you along here in Invicta Sports. Bringing you all the action from Central Pennsylvania and on USL Live. Ball driven in, that one low, and this one settled by the Islanders. They try and clear the zone, and Doan, it comes back for Kelly. Now it's sent back in, swinging near that far post, and that was right on goal. And what a fantastic save by Phil Tuttle. And just as impressive lacrosse.
Welcome to City Island, Phil Tuttle.
Wow, that was just a great job by number 22, Flatley. Look at him get up in the air. Beautifully struck ball. Flatley gets a great head on it. Tuttle, just a fantastic reaction save. And now they'll clear that one out. Wow, wow, wow. What a great play.
Let me tell you, Tuttle coming up big for the Harrisburg City Islanders. Flatley coming off a serious head injury.
Yes.
Comes in and has a great header.
Take a look at this again. And Flatley coming all the way up from the defensive position. They lay this ball back out. This ball is just perfectly ripped right in there. Look at this. Great head by Flatley, getting it on goal and on frame. And Tuttle, great reaction save.
Wow, Phil Tuttle, well done.
So Charleston with a great opportunity there. The Islanders are still able to keep it 0-0 here. Ball goes up and out of play. Charleston will have the throw in. Long throw down this near side. That one flicked on. Can Kelly get there? Jeff Blows is there. Waits, stops, and turns. Blows, nice and patient and confident. Gets it ahead for Richter now. Richter has Hodgkins to the outside. He'll just slow it down, check it back. All the way to the far side now for Thayer. Check that rather.
Torre.
Was it Basso actually over there? Long ball, this one I think was intended for Thayer rather on that one by Calvano, but gathered in by Dykstra. So some good burst of action at both ends of the field here in this second half. I think this is going to be an exciting close.
I'll tell you what, Torre's really impressed me these last two games, Chad. You know, the first game we saw him, I was a little concerned that, maybe Harrisburg made a mistake with him, but these last two games, he's been fun to watch. He's been quick. He's been sharp. Somebody to watch closer to the middle of summer for these guys as they get into their second part of their stretch for their league.
Ball outside now. Basso sends that one down, and that one's going to go up and out of play. We'll have a throw-in for the Islanders on the far side. There you see some of the great fans on hand. A lot of kids here tonight with their teams. Enjoying some great USL Pro action from the Skyline Sports Complex here in Harrisburg. Torre sends it back outside for Hodgkins. Hodgkins waits. Back inside now for Noon. Noon trying to take it to the end line. A great defensive play back there by 32 Falvey for Charleston. Blows stepping in there. Can't come up with it. Kelly leaves it outside now. Ball driven down this near side. Mack trying to get there, and Bixler able to gather it in for Harrisburg. Now Bixler has to try and fight it out of the corner. Able to clear it back out, and that one gathered in. Going to be a handball? Nope. Kelly sends it in, nothing there, and now Bixler will chip this one out, intended for Falvey, or check that rather, Torre. Throw-in for the Islanders here. Quickly in for Noon. Noon will send it all the way back for Bixler. Hodgkins trying to chip this one in, able to just keep it in play, actually. Here's Pelletier now as he settles it in midfield. Pelletier waits, nothing there, recharges, brings it back in the center now for Thayer. Thayer for Calvano. Thayer down the center of the field. That one flicked on, and Dykstra's going to come out and have to make a play on this one. Dykstra actually loses it out of bounds, gives away a corner kick, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, but he should have just driven it as soon as he got to it.
Yeah, that was a very poor decision on Dykstra's part. I mean, what he was trying to do was get fancy and curl it back into the box and put his mitts back on it. He should have banged up the line as far as he could, well knowing it was going to go off, but that was not a good decision on his part.
So Jason Hodgkins again over to take the corner kick for the Islanders. And they're going to hold it up, waiting to see what's going on here. Some jockeying going in front of the net. Hodgkins swings it in. Long ball down inside. That one headed on by Noon, and it looks like it'll be another corner kick. Yes, it will. Noon was able to get ahead on it.
A little politicking going on there. I really don't know if I could tell if that was a corner or not.
Another ball driven in. Nice job by Dykstra to get a mid on that one and knock it out. Harrisburg just trying to drive it back in, and Charleston has a player to the far side. This one driven outside now. Kelly trying to get there. Checks it up now for Charleston. Kelly lays it inside. Top of the 18. Ball to the outside now. Shot taken, and that one just wide of the mark. So a good build up there by Charleston. As that one just wide. Take a look at it again here. See if I can see the number on the player. Just missed kicks that one. Looked like it rolled off the outside of the foot.
Looks like maybe the grass grabbed it a little bit, and when you went to drive through it, it kind of snagged his foot as well.
I think it was Flatley actually out there that got the shot. And our first sub of the game here for Charleston is Prince is in the game now and gives the rest for Massey. So both teams starting to really charge it up here late in the second half. Torre with it now for the Islanders. Torre flicks it in for Noon now. Noon trying to pull it back and loses the ball now for Charleston. Charleston, Kelly knocks it ahead. Check that, rather that was Baugh, knocks it ahead for Kelly. Now Jeff Blows with it. Blows waits outside for Hodgkins. Hodgkins now playing this near side of the field as he switched his game up, trying to loosen things up. Intended for Torre there. Hodgkins trying to step in. Good job by Kelly defending. Kelly and Hodgkins going at it, and the call will go against Jason. And a quick restart. And here comes the Islanders now. As Charleston was trying to figure out what was going on. Big collision here. We'll have a free kick for the Islanders. Dangerous part of the field here for a restart.
I got to tell you, I think Harrisburg's got a couple home calls here because Jason on encroachment, that should have been a yellow immediately. Got away with one, and then over here I didn't quite see that because I was waiting to see what the bench, how that was reacting. It's obvious you can't do that. You know, when they're taking a restart, you can't dive into it. But needless to say, they got away with it. No card was called.
Take a look at this again. And here you see Jason's waiting to restart, and he just jumps in front. And then the foul right here. So the Islanders get a restart. Over the ball is Pelletier. What do you do from here, Larry? You look for a head to this near side?
You know what? Honestly, if I'm Jason Hodgkins, I'm ripping this thing.
Oh, Hodgkins is actually going to rip it. Nice shot, just rises over the bar. Good strike, though.
You got to be a little ambitious. You know, I mean, at this point, you know, there hasn't been a lot of dead shots on frame. You have to be a little ambitious. The way Jason was lined up, I knew Pelletier was not dangerous enough to hit a ball from that distance.
Hodgkins rips this one, just doesn't get the dip that he wanted. Goes wide of the mark, so we're still knotted at 0 here in our 69th minute of play. Good one here from the Skyline Sports Complex in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Hope you're enjoying all the action. Our viewers here locally on ABC 27 Weather Channel as well as USL Live.
It was this, but he just started. He's like he practiced, like he knew like what I was gonna do.
USLLive.com is the league's official online video channel and featuring exclusive behind-the-scenes content, interviews, games, and more. Need to check a match score, find out who's on top of the goal-scoring charts, or catch up on the latest news? You can do it all by logging on to USLsoccer.com, the league's official website. Ball sent down inside, another push to top of the box. Kelly tries to rip that one in, and that one blocked momentarily, and now the Islanders able to clear it. The pace of this game has really picked up, Larry.
It has, and I think Harrisburg might have got away with a little push over the top of the 18 right there. It is getting a little chippy. You know, obviously, Charleston didn't forget last weekend, nor did Harrisburg, and the referee's done a nice job so far of keeping things intact, but it's starting to get just a little bit out of control. So hopefully he's going to calm this game down a little bit and allow the quality to stay.
So Nicky Patterson will enter the game now for the Charleston Battery, and he's a exciting, explosive player. We'll see what type of change he brings to that lineup. We'll see who he's going to come in for as well as they're waiting for the change up here. And it looks like he's going to give a sub for C.D. Baugh. And it looks like Harrisburg will make a change as well. Langley, who we saw on Tuesday night, have an exciting game. We'll see what he can do as he gives a rest to number 33, Ryan Richter. And haven't heard much of Richter in about the last 10 or 15 minutes, so now a good time to make that sub. And Langley, exciting player the other night. We'll see what he contributes now late. Hodgkins drives this one low, and Charleston able to send that one up and out.
You know, if I see what Bill's doing here, he's bringing in some pace, just to create a little bit of a deception, a little bit of movement here up on top. You know, and at this point, Patterson coming in for their last 20, they're looking for him to maybe just stick one opportunity that he gets away, because he is a finisher.
Number 15, C.D. Baugh. That is
Calvano here near side. Calvano, boy, he almost lost that one, able to stay with it. That one's going to go off of number 20, Mackin out of play. Calvano will take the throw.
Calvano did a great job keeping control of that ball, I thought.
So we'll have a substitution now. Coming into the game will be number 17, Grunewald. And Grunewald will give a well-deserved rest to James Mack. Calvano sends this one in for Torre, headed away. Calvano trying to get there, flicks it back for Blows. Blows will send it in for Pelletier, and this one almost intercepted. Dangerous play there.
Almost looks like Charleston put in some of their speed demons. Patterson, Prince, Greenewald. Thin of build, look like they're a little bit lightning bolt in the bottle.
Hodgkins trying to get there, not too far. We'll have a goal kick now for the Charleston Battery.
Goal kick Charleston.
And we're going to have a card handed out to Jeff Blows. Jeff Blows arguing for a corner kick, said it was tipped. And referee John McCluskey did not like what he heard, so the first card of the game handed out to Jeff Blows. Now he's going to have to be a little bit more conservative with his play. He's not a real physical in terms of, he's a smart player, so I don't think that's going to affect his game all that much.
No, but it was unnecessary for him to be screaming. He wasn't getting that call. You know, it's not going to change anything. You know, we've all been through there, we've all been there, but that's not going to change anything.
Here comes Charleston now. Charleston will play this near side. Here's Patterson, or Patterson leaves it, or loses it rather. Noon comes back. Pelletier with it now. Pelletier has Hodgkins to the outside. Pelletier making the run, and Hodgkins will pull this back in. Didn't really see much there, but Calvano near side now. Has Langley to the outside. Noon now in the center of the field. Harrisburg playing the possession game. Basso to the far side now. Basso with it. Tries to tuck it ahead for Torre, and Torre comes up with it. Back here for Noon. Noon looking. Nobody moving really. He's got Calvano to this near side. Thayer will just play it back now for Bixler. Pelletier now. Tries to send it in for Noon. Noon still comes up with it though. Noon has an opportunity to turn. Thought he was going to try and let one go from there. And here comes Charleston now. Ball interception, Torre there. But it's going to go up and out of bounds. We'll get an Islander throw-in.
Charleston very content just to sit back and try and bunker and counter. Harrisburg needs to move this ball quicker, get it to the flanks, get in behind them, and get the service in. Trying to penetrate through the middle is just, it's not happening. They're not able to get in behind them now.
Ball swung in. This one's going to come wide. Langley settles it, looking to the end line. Langley gets the cross, and that one gathered in by Andrew Dykstra. So a nice ball swung all the way across. Langley getting some touches.
Great first touch by Langley. Good ball in by Jay. Great first touch by Langley. Brings it down, did his job, get the service in, maybe a little bit more dangerous on the service. Hooking the ball back from the baseline, but he did his job, got in behind him, and again, we just talked about that, coming in from the outside.
Hodgkins battling hard with Paskey. And it'll be a throw-in for Charleston here. Long throw, Blows will get a head on it. Knocked out near midfield. This one's going to stay in play. Flicked ahead. Here's an opportunity. Patterson near the top of the 18 for Charleston. Puts it in front. And boy, if he'd have kept it to the outside, he had a chance maybe to crack that one with the left foot.
You know, he had them all going across the grain. If it weren't for Basso coming in late like that and poking the ball away, Patterson was in. He had all the defenders shifting towards him. Agreed, if he could have went to the left, he could have been a little bit more dangerous, but they had all the defenders' momentum coming that way. So Patterson went against
Here's
the grain.
Hodgkins inside. Langley gets his crack at it. Misstrikes that one. Great opportunity for Harrisburg at the other end. The action really picking up here late. Big push there by Blows. No call on that one. And Blows gets ahead for Calvano now. Here's Noon with it. Far side of the field. Quick for Torre now. Torre trying to streak down and get to it. He will not. It'll go off the end line. In our 77th minute. Don't go away. 0-0. Let's pause for our sponsors.
The economic recovery is underway, but lots of families are still hurting. If you're behind on your mortgage because you're unemployed, underemployed, or you've had unexpected medical bills, you may be eligible for help. The federal government's Emergency Homeowner Loan Program helps families facing foreclosure. You don't have to go it alone. Give us a call. With the Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency, welcome home.
Got old electronics, such as a TV or computer to recycle? We've got your answer at the Dauphin County Recycling Center.
E-cycling is quick, easy, and free for all county residents.
You can also recycle old major appliances and other items safely at our center.
Have questions? Call our helpful staff at the Recycling Center or check our website for more information.
Recycling is now more convenient than ever.
Join us in going green to protect our environment.
Keep our earth clean and green. Wipe out waste and recycle.
Ball sent through there, and the Islanders kind of checked up, thought there was a player offsides, and Grunwald almost got there doing the overlap run. Patterson quickly sends this one in. Another strike, and that one just goes wide of the mark by Kelly, who has been very active here tonight.
That's a good shot by Kelly. A little ambitious, maybe a little bit far away. You know, I don't know if that's going to be Tuttle from there, but, you know, he might be getting a little fatigued, too. That kid's been working hard all night.
It's been a fun game to watch tonight. You know what? I have not seen anybody leave this place. It's still packed right in. The bleachers over on the far side, and the hill is just full of people. Long ball driven down in, headed on. Noon trying to get there. Torre will get a head on it. Sends it back. Comes to Pelletier. Pelletier trying to settle it. Comes back for Pelletier. Sends it in for Torre. Torre waits, trying to check it up for Noon. Torre taken down. We're going to have a free kick here for the Islanders. Boy, I tell you what, Larry, I got to say it. I've been trying not to all night, but the same type of call going the other way hasn't been called, and it happens here. I don't know. Sounds like controversy last weekend and controversy again this weekend. But what would you do from here if you're hitting this ball? What do you do?
I'm hitting it. I'm not even questioning it here. To that distance, I'm taking a shot on goal. Because the only ball you're going to find right now is a ball you're going to have to float in, and you're not going to beat a keeper by floating it in with a header. This one's got to be struck. And again, the man to hit this ball, in my opinion, is Jason Hodgkins. Even though he's seen it already, he hooks around the wall. If he challenges him with pace and he puts a hard knuckle on it, he's got a great opportunity, but he's lining up like he wants to hit it direct. This may be Noon.
Yeah, it looks like Noon's going to hit it. No, Hodgkins drives the ball, and that one knocked out the top of the box. So that wall moved awful quick, boy, didn't it?
It did. They kind of bid on Noon's first movement.
They moved a good five yards there on that play. But either way, you know, Hodgkins got to get it up a little bit higher and try and get it down quick. Ball thrown in, comes right to Noon now. Noon for Pelletier. Pelletier waits, tries to play it through. Pelletier with it, switches it to the top, intended for Torre. And Charleston able to get this one out. Patterson with it now. Patterson waits. Patterson will play it to the outside. Charleston on the counter now. Here's Patterson. Patterson swinging it to this near side for Kelly. Calvano able to clear it out. So Charleston not giving any headway here. Even after playing a game last week, we haven't seen them lose a stride yet.
They haven't. And, you know, they did sit for a while. They were bunkering. Now they're starting to put a little bit more pressure up on top. These new substitutions have breathed a little bit more life into them.
For both
10
squads.
minutes left. Yeah, absolutely. 10 minutes left. I don't think you're going to see either one of these teams backing down now. They're going to leave it all on the field.
Long ball driven to the far side for, is that Patterson? Yeah, Patterson on the far side. Tries to leave it for Kelly. And now Blows has it for the Islanders.
They all stopped thinking it was a foul. He hasn't blown it again.
Near side for Langley now. Langley quickly for Noon. Noon's going to send Langley down this near side, and Langley has to check up. I think he was offsides. Dystra is going to put it down and send it ahead. In our 82nd minute, 0-0. It's been a fantastic game here on the island. Hope you're enjoying it. All of our viewers watching on Invicta Sports, and also all of our viewers watching around the country on USL Live. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you're enjoying your Charleston Battery and your Harrisburg City Islanders. Ball out near midfield. Headed on there by Charleston. Comes to the center of the field now. Grubal gets in there, gets a foot on it. Ball ahead now. Here's Caskey. Caskey sends it for Kelly, and Bixer will send it back now for Tuttle. Tuttle, long driven ball intended for Torre. Torre can't get there. Comes all the way back for Noon. Noon still with it now for the Islanders. Ahead for Torre. Intended for Noon, couldn't get it back to him. Here comes Charleston once again. Right down the center of the field, having to check it up is Caskey now and play it to the outside. Long ball driven to this near side for Kelly, and Calvano gets ahead on it. Patterson now, top of the 18. Patterson dancing as that one taken away comes. Here's a shot, and that one blocked. Charleston driving here. Ball swing all the way to the near side now for, check that for Zaire. And now here comes Pelletier. No one moving right now for the Islanders. They've got to, had some numbers at first. Now Pelletier has to check it up, has Langley. Nothing. Pelletier calls for Langley to come back, and Langley comes from an offsides position.
Langley checked his run. He shouldn't have checked his run. He should have kept going. Pelletier was looking for a high point inside, looking for somebody to play into, and then slip Langley in. Langley didn't make the run. Therefore, the forward that was supposed to check didn't check. Little discombobulated going forward, that one. And again, it's almost as if, it's almost like Charleston's almost playing for the tie here. There's really no sense of urgency here in the 83rd minute from Dykstra getting this restart in.
Long driven ball for Patterson. That one's going to come all the way through and gathered by Tuttle. This second half has just been full throttle, though.
It's been an incredibly exciting game, Chad. There's no question about it. Harrisburg's had the majority of the possession and the majority of the play. And again, but this is probably Charleston's game plan, to sit back, bunker, and counter, you know, after playing a game last night. Now, again, it looks like they're starting to open up a little bit more here in the second half, or I'm sorry, the last 10 minutes of the second half. But needless to say, I've been impressed with both sides tonight, Chad. I really have.
Absolutely. It's been a great game.
It has.
Greenwald sends this one in and almost flicked on by Patterson, this time for Kelly now. Kelly down this near side. Kelly against Blow, sends it right along the top of the box, and that one knocked out by the Islanders. And able to keep it in play, though, was Langley. Greenwald tries to play it back, out of bounds. And we'll have a throw in now for the Islanders, and we'll have a substitution as well. So Welker is entering the game.
Probably from, I'd say probably a defensive center mid, which is exactly what Thayer's playing.
Yep.
So they probably can get 7-8 minutes out of him tonight. Another young man that's played himself into the lineup. You know, he was not, you know, highly touted by the Islanders, and you know, worked himself in through the trials and through the Monday night training sessions that the Islanders had put on over the winter, and has done well for himself.
Long throw down this near side now. Flicked on there by Kelly. Tuttle will gather it in for the Islanders. Tuttle's going to put it down and sends a long driven ball. This one intended for Noon, too far for him. Calvano's going to be able to settle it. In for Pelletier. Pelletier quickly ahead now for Torre. And that one intercepted. Comes back to Pelletier. He's going to switch it up for Hodgkins. Hodgkins on the far side now. Hodgkins tries to drive this one at the goal and gets way underneath that one.
You know, I can see what Jason's trying to do. He want to get the quick service in and maybe put a poke on frame and see if he can get some sort of a misdirect. But that's a tough ball. That's a tough ball even for the world's best strikers.
86th minute. Can either team find the back of the net here? Kelly gets a flick on now. Kelly's still with it. Actually, we're going to have a handball or something, I think, called there. So restart for the Islanders.
Islanders had an awful lot of restarts tonight.
Calvano's outside here, and Noon can't get it to him. Now here's Langley. Langley with some room now. Has that one pickpocketed. Nice defensive play there by number 7, Evan Taylor. And then the ball sent back out, and that one driven, and it'll be an Islander throw-in. Calvano waits. Nobody coming. In for Langley now. Langley settling the ball, trying to get it in for Torre. Nothing there. Jeff Lowe steps up. Pelletier. Jason Pelletier takes a crack at this one. Didn't get much behind it, though. But just put something on net. You never know what's going to happen, especially late in the game.
So true, but Jason's not known for his power or long-distance shots. I think that was a little ambitious, to be fair.
Greenwald has that one taken away. Ball comes back, and that goes off of Calvano. Nope, they'll give it an Islander throw. He'll just send it in for Jeff Lowe's now. Lowe switches it up to the far side for Welker. Check that Basso, I should say. That will be headed out. We'll have an Islander throw deep inside. Looks like Hodgkins is going to leave it there for Basso. Basso for Hodgkins. Hodgkins trying to get the turn, can't get it there. Comes out for Kelly now. Kelly. Center of the field. Kelly comes up with it for Charleston. Tries to leave it back and does. Now Kelly comes back up with it again. Along this near side for Caskey now. Caskey has it taken away, and Pelletier working this near side of the field. Pelletier switches it far side, and Torre gets a play on it. Can Hodgkins keep it in play? Yes, he does. Nice job by Jason to keep that one in play. Sends it across the top of the box. No one there, and this one cleared out by Charleston. I don't know, Larry. It's looking like a tie ball game here tonight on the island. We've seen that an awful lot.
We have, you know, and now you almost see Charleston sitting back again and not really trying to engage. It's kind of, again, bunker counter mode.
Here's a switch for Torre with the header. He scores! Torre scores for Harrisburg in the 89th minute of play.
As soon as you said that, I was thinking to myself, boy, one of these teams score. What a great goal that was by Torre.
And you can see the crowd. Torre is going to celebrate this one. We'll take a look at the replay on this one. Ball sent in by Pelletier. And Noon just takes it here. Great little flick to the backside. And Torre getting up, and there you go, young forward. Snap your head down. 1-0 Islanders in the 89th minute of play.
What a great goal by Torre.
Torre gets a yellow card, and that's going to be probably for excessive celebration.
Excessive celebration.
But that's okay. Knock some time off that clock. Wow, I wasn't sure if a goal was going to come at all for either team, but we'll take another look at this one. And Noon's just, what a great turn on that ball. Caught the defender, the goaltender, Dykstra, going to the right side, snapped the ball back. What a great play. But hey, there's plenty of time here, and Charleston hasn't given up yet. Charleston streaking down the far side of the field. Here's Caskey now. Caskey stops, gets the cross, and there comes Pelletier. No, check that. Rather, Welker comes in and gets that. We'll have our substitution.
Wow, 4 minutes tonight.
Woo. So Coleman will come into the game, and he gives a rest to Evan Taylor. Quick throw in now for Charleston.
Taylor has done an excellent job tonight, Chad. He's been a mainstay in the midfield for Charleston. Worked up and down relentlessly. He's done an excellent job for them.
And Tuttle will take his time back there and try and kill things off. So 4 minutes of stoppage time. Lots of time here if Charleston can put some touches together and move the ball up the field. So Harrisburg has to stay on their toes and keep pushing here. Noon can't get ahead on that one. It's going to go off of Charleston. We'll have a throw in, though, for the Islanders. And it'll be left now for Calvano. Calvano, long throw down this near side. Comes back to Patterson in the center for Charleston. They'll drive one down the field. Kelly intended for him, nothing there. Welker able to get a play on it now for the Islanders. Patterson, center of the field. Welker comes up with it. Torre back for Welker. And here comes Charleston again. Charleston down the center, and that one too far on the far side there for Coleman. And Tuttle comes out and gathers it in. Langley keeps that one in play. Flatley sends it down this near side. It's going to go up and out of bounds. We'll have a throw in now. Calvano will take his time, I'm sure. Come over and play the ball forward, that's for sure. Long throw, flicked on by Noon. Noon with it now, center of the field. Trying to switch it up, Pelletier. Has Hodgkins. Plays it to the outside now for Basso. Basso still with it, moving it forward. Chips this one down inside. Torre trying to run onto it. Gets a flick on it. Can he keep it in play? No, he cannot. Torre trying to be creative over there.
Torre is desperately trying to get himself in the starting 11.
I tell you, the two games we've seen, I've been very impressed with him.
Absolutely.
Langley's going to be called on the foul as he had his arms right up underneath the arms of number 10, Coleman. So Caskey will feed this one in. Actually, he will not. Yes, he will. Caskey drives this one near that far post, headed on near the top of the box now, and Welker gets a head on it. Back now for Caskey again. Caskey to the outside, punches it ahead. Cross, down inside, and that one headed on. Shot taken, and that one just goes wide of the mark.
What a flurry right there by Charleston.
Patterson
made it interesting.
Patterson had an opportunity to do what he did last week. Knock another one in, so we'll take a look as it'll come down. Nice punch ball down inside here. And then sent across, and Patterson just couldn't get his hips turned, it looked like.
Tough ball. You know, the first ball that was whipped in was a fantastic service, and Charleston unfortunately couldn't get something on that. And Patterson, all he has to do is poke it back on frame with all the congestion back in there to create some trouble, and just couldn't connect quality on the ball.
30 seconds left in the stoppage time. Of course, the official call down on the field with head referee John McCluskey. Long ball sent ahead, top of the 18, flicked on by Patterson. Coming up from his defensive spot is Falvey. Falvey trying to keep it in play. He does. And Hodgkins will just drive this one deep. And that went almost over the head. Torrey was ready to run onto that one. Here's Langley now, and that's it. The Islanders take a huge victory home tonight, 1-0 over Charleston. And you can see there are some tired players out there tonight.
Again, I suspected they'd leave it all on the field, and they did.
Torrey with another goal, 2 goals, 2 games.
Torrey with a great goal, Chad. I don't underestimate that because the ball was not played in all that hard. For him to get up and snap the ball to the back post with that kind of pace, that was fantastic.
So our final is 1-0 Harrisburg over Charleston. Don't go away. We're going to take a short break. We'll come back with our post-game action right after this.
The economic recovery is underway, but lots of families are still hurting. If you're behind on your mortgage because you're unemployed, underemployed, or you've had unexpected medical bills, you may be eligible for help. The federal government's Emergency Homeowner Loan Program helps families facing foreclosure. You don't have to go it alone. Give us a call. With the Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency. Welcome home.
Got old electronics, such as a TV or computer to recycle? We've got your answer at the Dauphin County Recycling Center.
E-cycling is quick, easy, and free for all county residents.
You can also recycle old major appliances and other items safely at our center.
Have questions? Call our helpful staff at the Recycling Center or check our website for more information.
Recycling is now more convenient than ever.
Join us in going green to protect our environment.
Keep our earth clean and green. Wipe out waste and recycle.
Hi, my name is Kelly Lewis, president of TechQuest Pennsylvania. We started TechQuest Pennsylvania to attract technology investments into the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, working with business leaders, government leaders, and educators to find the best way to make Pennsylvania a leader in the innovation economy. From internships to workforce training to jobs to broadband, we work to develop the innovation economy in Pennsylvania. Check us out at techquestpa.com.
And lots of action here from the Skyline Sports Complex tonight as the Islanders take home a victory by a score of 1-0 in the 89th minute off a goal from Torrey. And let's take a look at all the highlights from tonight's action. As of course Charleston and Harrisburg getting busy early, far side of the field. Ball swung in there by Caskey and flicked on by Massey. No goal there. And then a big battle, lots of battles like that throughout the night. Big run down the near side or far side by Mackey. And then here was one opportunity for the Islanders. Comes all the way over for Schofield. Schofield just couldn't get it to that far post. And then here was the goal that was called back. As you see down inside there, the player for Harrisburg and Charleston going down. Ball comes to the far side. This one swung in, headed on, and this was probably the save of the game right there by Tuttle. And then the goal for Harrisburg, flicked on. Torrey flicks it on to the far side off the head, 1-0. And here it is one more time. Just what a pretty goal. Absolutely fantastic. And there you see Torrey and Hodgkins, 2 players that come off the bench, Larry, and made a big change in that second half.
I'll tell you what, Torrey had a textbook finish off his head. Again, when I say about the weighted pass that Noon played in, nothing to take away from the pass because it was a good pass.
Oh, absolutely.
And it did not have a lot of weight to it. And Torrey to get up and snap that down the way he did, that was fantastic. That was one of the best goals I've seen yet this year.
Tell you what, folks, if you like this one, you can come right back out to the island. Lots more soccer action coming up this summer. And here you can see Wednesday, June 8th, Dayton will be in town at 7 o'clock. That game will be live on ABC 27's Weather Channel. Make sure you tune in with that. Greg Mace will be on board with us to help broadcast on that one. Then again, Tuesday, June 14th, Reading United will be in for the first round of the Lamar Cup. That's the Open Cup match that'll be here on the island. And then Saturday, July 2nd, Charlotte Eagles will be in town at 7 o'clock. For tickets, 717-441-GOAL, or go to www.cityislanders.com to get your ticket information. It was a great one here from the island. My favorite part, there you see all the kids getting to come out and see their favorite player, get everything autographed and signed. We hope you enjoyed all the action tonight. For Larry Julius, I'm Chad Edwards. Make sure you tune back in here for USL soccer action on Invicta Sports. Good night.